Welcome to Victory Through Time. Today, we are going to take a fascinating journey through every Olympic opening ceremony, from the very first one to the most recent. Whether you're a longtime fan of the Games or just curious about how it all started, this video will break down the stories behind these iconic moments that set the stage for the world's greatest sporting event. So sit back and get ready to relive the unforgettable magic of Olympic openings. 1. Hockey, Miracle on Ice. On February 22, 1980, at the height of Cold War tension, a group of American college players defeat the Soviet Union's national hockey team 4-3 in Lake Placid. The USSR enters the semifinal matchup as overwhelming favorites, having won gold in 5 of the previous 6 Olympics and outscoring opponents 51-11 in the group stage. In contrast, Team USA is composed mostly of amateurs, with an average age of just 22 and 0 NHL experience. Goaltender Jim Craig stops 36 of 39 Soviet shots, while captain Mike Eruzione scores the game winner with exactly 10 minutes remaining. Coach Herb Brooks structures a high-tempo system to pressure Soviet skaters late, banking on conditioning and belief. The plan works, especially in the final moments, as the Soviets fail to pull their goalie and the crowd counts down to victory. The Americans go on to defeat Finland 4-2 in the final game, clinching the gold medal in round-robin format. Sports Illustrated later names it the greatest sports moment of the 20th century. The upset ignites national pride and redefines Olympic hockey, just as the IOC begins debating full professional participation. 2. Stephanie Cook. In 2000, Sydney Olympic organizers appoint Stephanie Cook as Director of Ceremonies Planning, a role that demands precise synchronization across 12 stadium sites and 10,651 athletes. Cook leads a team responsible for integrating Aboriginal traditions, digital effects, and thousands of volunteer performers in real time. The 4-hour event begins with a deep-sea dreaming segment, referencing 40,000 years of indigenous culture, and ends with Kathy Freeman lighting the cauldron inside a ring of water. After delays from a hydraulic glitch pause, the show mid-broadcast. Cook's orchestration earns global acclaim not for its budget, but for its cohesion. The Sydney ceremony costs an estimated AUD 60 million, but maximizes impact through community inclusion rather than celebrity scale. Freeman's presence as the first Aboriginal athlete to light an Olympic flame turns symbolism into headline. IOC President Juan Antonio Samaranch later calls it the most beautiful ceremony ever. That blend of logistics and cultural resonance sets a new benchmark, just as Athens prepares to bring the Games home. 3. Eric the Eel. In 2000, Eric Musambani of Equatorial Guinea enters the Olympic pool with a personal best time over twice the world record. Having trained for only 8 months, mostly in a hotel pool, Musambani qualifies for the 100-meter freestyle due to a wildcard entry aimed at increasing global participation. When his 2 competitors false start and are disqualified, he swims alone in front of 17,000 spectators at the Sydney Aquatic Centre. His final time, 1:52.72, is more than a minute slower than the event winner, but the crowd erupts regardless. The moment captures the Olympic spirit not through elite performance but sheer determination, as Musambani flails and floats his way to the finish. International broadcasters dub him Eric the Eel, and he becomes a symbol of universality, later serving as Equatorial Guinea's swim coach. He never medals, but never needs to. The contrast with Sydney's high-tech ceremony highlights how underdog grit can overshadow spectacle. The next ceremony heads to Salt Lake, where geopolitics complicate the torch's glow. 4. Rulon Gardner. At the 2000 Sydney Olympics, 29-year-old American Rulon Gardner enters the Greco-Roman wrestling final as a heavy underdog. His opponent, Alexander Karelin of Russia, is a 3-time Olympic gold medalist who has not lost a match in 13 years and hasn't given up a single point in 6. Gardner, a former dairy farmer from Wyoming, has never medaled internationally and enters unseeded. The bout ends 1-0, not in Karelin's favor. Gardner scores on a technical violation and then holds the lead for the remainder of the 6-minute match. When the whistle blows, the arena erupts. the most dominant wrestler in modern Olympic history is dethroned by an unranked American. Gardner earns Sportsman of the Year and becomes a national folk hero. His upset, as shocking as any in Olympic history, redefines what's possible under the lights. The next ceremony reminds the world that even underdog nations can design iconic moments. Just ask Athens. 5. Fiji's first gold. In 2016, Fiji wins its first ever Olympic gold medal in the very debut of men's rugby sevens at the Rio Games. The Pacific Island nation, with a population under 1 million, dominates the final against Great Britain with a 43-7 blowout. Osia Kolinisau, the team captain and longtime sevens specialist, scores the opening try and sets the tone for the match. Fiji's path to the gold includes wins over New Zealand, Argentina, and Japan, but the final becomes a clinic in pace, tackling, and ball movement. The team finishes the tournament with 30 tries across 6 games, averaging 28.5 points per match. Rugby is more than a sport in Fiji. It's a national identity, and the gold medal triggers a national holiday back home. For the first time, Fiji enters the Olympic record book not as a participant, but as a champion. The next Olympic debut brings a different kind of first, an icon lighting the flame on home soil. 6. Lamin Marikia. In 2016, Lamin Marikia of South Sudan marches into Maracana Stadium under the Olympic flag, not his national one, because his nation is only 5 years old and still forming a national Olympic committee. Marikia competes as one of 10 athletes on the IOC's newly created Refugee Olympic team, designed to offer displaced athletes a neutral platform. He runs in the 400 meters, finishing last in his heat with a time of 52.89 seconds, nearly 7 seconds off the leader. But the performance isn't the point. Marikia's presence symbolizes the IOC's evolving definition of global participation, especially for stateless or war-displaced athletes. Born in what is now South Sudan, he flees civil conflict and trains in Kenya's Kakuma refugee camp before earning Olympic eligibility. His lane may be empty of medals, but it fills a diplomatic void. The next Olympic opener restores the flags, alongside a dramatic light show seen by nearly 1 billion viewers. 7. Abby D'Agostino and Nikki Hamblin. In the women's 5,000-meter heat at the 2016 Rio Olympics, New Zealand's Nikki Hamblin trips just past the 3,000-meter mark, accidentally taking down Abby D'Agostino of the United States. D'Agostino rises first, helps Hamblin to her feet, then collapses again, her right knee clearly damaged. Despite the injury, D'Agostino urges Hamblin to keep going and eventually limps across the finish line herself more than 2 minutes behind the pack. Because both athletes finish, officials advance them to the final on sportsmanship grounds, though D'Agostino's torn ACL prevents her from racing again. The moment spreads rapidly, not for its result, but for its contrast with the high-stakes precision of most Olympic narratives. Both runners later received the Pierre de Coubertin Award for Fair Play, a medal even rarer than gold. As Rio closes, the IOC begins planning its next opener, one that swaps human moments for an epic 4-hour drone-lit spectacle. Thank you so much for watching Every Olympic Opening Ceremony Explained. We hope you enjoyed exploring the incredible history and evolution of these grand spectacles. If you loved this video, make sure to hit that like button, share with friends, and subscribe to Victory Through Time for more Olympic stories. Let us know in the comments which Olympic opening ceremony stands out to you the most. And stay tuned for more epic content coming your way. See you next time.